Hey guys, First Bill Comic Book University and Secret Empire issue number 1. Guys, there's something that I think you're going to have to get used to every single time I do one of these Secret Empire reviews, and that is me starting off the video, holy crap, because seriously, that's every single issue. So we have, first off, we find out in this school several things. We find out that one, Baron Strucker, because I was wondering if they were going to bring Baron Strucker in. If you remember, he's the bald guy with the monocle, he used to always fight Nick Fury more than anybody else, and he had the Satan claw, you know, that claw that can actually just kill people. Literally, just boom, touch you, you're dead. So he was actually murdered for treason. Okay, cool. That makes sense. He was never the type to follow. You know, he was always the leader, but not nearly as effective as the Skull and all those. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So we also find out that all of this good stuff happened only about a year ago. So the whole mind-washing thing with the Cosmic Cube, they know that there was a mind-washing, but they're blaming the mind-washing on the Americans and an alternative history kind of thing. So that's actually really cool that they're explaining it that way, and it's showing certain little ways where they're giving outs. They're giving ways to get out of the situation that they're in, and I'm really digging that. Now we get to see Captain Marvel up in space behind the shield. I actually already talked about that in a preview review that I had done. And it was a really genuinely sad situation. So we move on from there and we go to Rayshon Lucas. And we actually already did that. A lot of these things were things that they already showed us in advance. And this was actually pretty good. Something else that I noticed in here that some of you guys might be interested in. His nickname is Patriot 398. Now, guess what? That's a spoiler. That's actually a spoiler. Now is more of an Easter egg, I should say. I don't know if it's spoiled, but it's definitely an Easter egg. Rayshon's computer handle is 398. Now that's Earth 398. Currently, we are in Earth 616. That's where we are right now. And there's all these other different Earths, like the Ultimate Universe is 1610, the Guardians of the Galaxy 31st Century Alternate Earth timeline. That's actually Earth. What is that? 691, I think that one is. 693, something like that. Anyway, this particular one is Earth 398. That's what they're referencing this. And that is actually the immediate time when the Heroes Reborn thing was going on. Now, this was during the Heroes Return storyline. There was originally the Onslaught Wars, and Onslaught came, and that was all that big stuff. And they eventually had the Heroes Reborn. Heroes Reborn was when they technically, several characters, Captain America, all the Avengers and all that stuff, they were written by Image Comics for about a year back in 1997. And then after that just didn't work out for them, Marvel started to get on their feet again, and they brought all those characters back over. Some of the characters they canceled about 10 months early, 8 months early, whatever. And Image wasn't too happy with that. Whatever, deal with it, it's life. So the idea is that when they came back, they were in the Heroes Return universe. Now they had a layover, that's Earth 398. And what happened there was Morgan Le Fay, yes, Arthurian legend, Morgan Le Fay actually created a reality warp. All right. And this warp changed the time period to a more medieval setting. And, all the Avengers, they were in like the, King Arthur type realm and things like that. And basically, I think this was actually called the Queen's Vengeance. All right. And the Scarlet Witch was able to get them out. And Scarlet Witch is in this, by the way. And something else coming up real quick. Wonder Man. She actually took her power and channeled her energy into Wonder Man, and he has his ionic energy form. And boom, this was able to get them out of that crazy timeline. And they wound up, beating Morgan Le Fay, all that good stuff. And that's what happened in the Earth 398. This was in about 1998 or so. And just a couple of issues. But interesting enough that Scarlet Witch is there, and she's actually on the current Avengers team. And who just showed up recently in the pages of Uncanny Avengers? Why, that would be Wonder Man, Simon Williams. And he is also currently over there in the, the Avengers secret base in Nevada. Now, speaking of Nevada, that's where Rayshon Lucas is taken. And when he's taken there, he goes there because he's got some a zip drive, a thumbnail drive, whatever, that has information from Rick Jones. Turns out that Rick Jones was forgiven for his stuff because, he's Captain America's bud. He was his sidekick, all this good stuff, right? He's been around forever. And he gets taken under like a house arrest. And one of the Hydra agents that was guarding him got a little lazy. Rick got a hold of his phone, took some pertinent information, and this is apparently the information that can fix Steve Rogers. All right? So he takes that and gives that to Rayshon Lucas and says, go get this to the Heroic Underground. So that's how that all happened. Rick Jones is currently in prison now, and he's now under solitary. So we'll get back to that in a moment. In the meanwhile, Tony Stark, he's all like, hey, and he's called the Drunk, all right? His AI, his artificial intelligence, which is living at this point, he's completely lost hope. He's called the Drunk, not because the AI is getting drunk, but rather because the AI is programmed off of the brainwaves of Tony Stark, and that's just Tony Stark's personality. He is a drunk. Even if he's not drinking, he's still an alcoholic, and he still has those tendencies in his brainwaves. So that's just the way that the AI is. Anybody wonders why I always think that Tony Stark is borderline good guy? This is one of those things you can check out. Now, we get to see that Eliza Sinclair, she's actually doing a little meditation thing, and she sees Doctor Strange, his face. And even though he's not at full power because of the empirical storyline that had gone down, he's still powerful enough that she's worried. She's worried that something's going to happen, that it's going to come down to a face-off between these two. And that's going to be cool because she's like this ancient evil, and ancient evil happens to be what Doctor Strange does. So over on Rick Jones's side, we get to see that he's locked down, and Captain America's saying, listen, dude, you need to say Hail Hydra. You do that, I don't even care if you're sincere. Just say it, and this way I look good in front of my cohorts and, the people who I'm lording over, all right? And you then get to go back to regular house arrest again, all right? But you got to chill with this. And this is when I know something bad's going to happen because Rick just pretty much ignores and he says, you know why I know everything's going to be okay, Cap, and why you're going to go back to normal? It's because you're the greatest hero ever. And I know that you're going to be A-okay. And everything's going to be okay because it's you. And man, I just knew something bad was going to happen. So Eliza and everybody's talking, and her and Steve, they discuss that they need to get a hold of that cosmic cube. Now, that cosmic cube happens to be something that Baron Zemo had coincidentally enough gotten a hold of. Interesting. Let's see what they're going to do with this. Over in Nevada, there's I believe that they're actually in Carson City. They're definitely not in Las Vegas proper. All right, so I think that Carson City is the capital of Nevada, and I'm imagining that's probably where they are because of all the buildings and whatnot. And they release these drones out there to try and they don't say what it's for, but I'm already assuming that they're going to destroy the city because Cap knows that the heroes are going to have to come out, and once they do, dreadnoughts galore are going to come down and just like serve unholy hell on these guys there. This base is run by Hawkeye and Black Widow. So that's cool that you got this. And I know that the Uprising, I think it's supposed to be, one of the new solos is supposed to be where Black Widow kind of forms like a red room, the new red room of her own. And Nadia Pym is there too. And she was in the red room, but a different version, a scientific version. And I'm very interested in seeing what's going to go down with that. Anyway, the final thing that happens here for the most part is that Rick Jones refuses to say anything, even related to Hail Hydra, gets taken out in front of a firing squad. And sure enough, he screams as loud as he can. He screams two words, not Hail Hydra. He screams Avengers Assemble. And man, what a friggin' choke-up moment that is. And they just, boom, they fire. And he just gets riddled with bullets and they kill Rick Jones. Cap is merciless, dude. He's absolutely merciless. That is just so messed up. So this comic, guys, I'm giving this an A. This is crazy, insane. This is... I think the reason why a lot of this stuff is coming off as so crazy right now is because if it were a regular bad guy, like if it were Doctor Doom or the Red Skull pulling off this stuff, or even standard Magneto, I think that we would expect it. But since it's Captain America, it's taken us by surprise. It's destroying us, and it's so freaky. But Marvel keeps on saying, hold on to your britches because the ending is going to be a hell of a payoff. Guys, don't forget, Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday. Go down, Get your free comic books. One of those comic books is going to be the Secret Empire Free Comic Book Day. It is going to be different than what we're reading now. I'm not going to give, I've told it before, I am not actually going to give the spoiler that is already plastered all over the internet. You can look up Free Comic Book Day, Secret Empire, to get a load of the final page picture of what that comic book is going to be. And you're going to look at it and just go, holy crap, really? No way. Because the implications are crazy. I'm going to do that review on Saturday when I get that comic. In the meantime, this is this comic, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.